Hi, my name is Paul.
And I'm Brooke.
And we're the Wilsons. I'm the director of the sports program at Sports for the One. And Gabe is an employee of ours over there. And like I do with any member of the team, I try to get to know them, try to just understand their story. And so I just kind of asked Gabe, hey man, what's your story? What's your background? And he kind of let me know some of the details of his childhood and things when he grew up. And then just more recently, some of the things had come up where he had said that he needed a place to stay. And I just think as believers, as leaders, as people who are kind of looking after this younger generation of believers, it's our job to help out when they're in need. And so for me, it was a no-brainer. It was, he said he needed a place to stay, and God spoke to me and said, ask him to stay with you. And so obviously I knew for me, that was a really easy decision, but being married and having a family and all of that, I knew that I would obviously have to talk to Brooke about it. And so I don't want to speak for you.
That's right. Naturally, when he asked you, it was like a no-brainer. But when he came home and talked to me about it, my side is I didn't know Gabe very well at that time. And so I first went into an anxious state where it's like, okay, we have younger kids and a home is a very private area, and to bring someone who would be living in your home, I automatically and selfishly was like, what's that going to look like? Do I need to adjust things when my house is messy? Am I going to have to worry? And full circle, going back to the day after Gabe shared his testimony, which I didn't even know he was sharing, my scripture on Monday after Sunday was Philippians 4:6, and it's don't be anxious in anything, but in all circumstances, by prayer and petition, with thanksgiving, present your requests to God, and then God's peace, which passes all understanding, will guide your minds and your hearts. And I just thought, that was, for me, Savannah asked me not to cry in this, but God spoke to me on Sunday and he said, you passed the test. And without my husband and leaning in on his faith, I don't know what that would have looked like, because he is such a faithful servant in that area. And I just was in awe. What God can do, he'll never allow a circumstance that someone's in if they're actively pursuing. So that's something that Kevin talked about, being idle versus being active.
Is the devil will use your idleness, but God will use your action. You go, wait, which action? Any.
He was actively pursuing God. He surrendered, and God's going to move whatever mountain that he needs to allow you to continue pursuing that calling that he's placed on your life. So I just thought that was such a moving moment for me personally.
I've always prayed that in our relationship, through our marriage, through our finances, that God would always bless us enough to be a faucet and not a bucket.
Yeah.
And that the resources would flow through us and not stop with us. And so, again, I feel like God has put us in a position, and I'd say we're not necessarily the old group, but we're getting older, and we're supposed to look after the young ones. And sometimes all we need in life is a soft place to land, a place to get our feet firmly underneath us. And then from this, he got back into school. He got the car. I think he's even got a little girlfriend now. So
super cute.
From all of these things, with Gabe just taking a step, all these other blessings are able to flow through that. And God is able to use us and use this other man who gave the car. And there's just a lot of people who get to be blessed by this story. We love you, Gabe.
Love you.